Hey there, it's Johanna, and let's talk about being gentle with ourselves. My past has plenty of difficult memories. I think most of us have done things that we're not proud of and said things that we wish we could take back, or failed to do things we really wish we had done. And my go-to reaction when these memories pop up is a lot of self-criticism, a lot of harshness. And that's why I was really surprised when I had shared a piece of writing with a trusted friend, and she commented on how gentle I had treated my younger self in that writing. And, being gentle with ourselves, it's so much easier said than done, especially for those of us who have kind of a pattern of harshness. And no matter how many times I suggest to other people that they could maybe be a little more gentle with themselves or try to remind myself to treat myself gently, it still takes a lot of intentional practice. But my friend's comment helped me notice the progress I have been making. And one of the things that has been really helpful for me in bringing more gentleness into the way I treat myself is actually practicing in retrospect, like practicing with memories, because it can be so difficult, like in the heat of the moment, to try and do things differently. We just can fall right back into the way we usually react. But when we work with memories, that can give us a little more space to start building a new skill, to start practicing and creating different patterns and just giving ourselves something else to reach for when those moments come up again. So my go-to way to work with memories is in writing. Writing's usually kind of how I process things. And for me, writing things down, it kind of makes me actually wrap words around all my thoughts and feelings instead of leaving them as these just vague impressions in my mind. And it can also be helpful to read back over what I wrote, and that sometimes gives me a little bit different perspective. So what I like to do is just write out a memory as specifically and vividly as possible, and then write a response to that memory and try to bring more gentleness into that response. And, I'd love to invite you to give this a try. And if writing's not your thing, that's fine. We process things differently. So maybe you want to try speaking into a recorder, or use art or music or movement, or talk through it with a friend, whatever works for you. And so if you want to give this a try, there are some things to consider that can help us along the way to building that practice of being more gentle. And the first thing I would say is, if you're going to do this, don't start with the hardest memory. Yes, those memories that bring up so much anger or shame, they can probably benefit from a whole lot of gentleness, and they are not going to be the easiest place to start. So instead, maybe try a memory where your self-criticism is a little less intense, and work your way up as your skill develops. And, and this isn't just for those memories where we feel really self-critical. There's so many places to bring more gentleness in. And actually, starting with a memory where you felt really sad or really afraid could be, for one, it's just so powerful to be able to, show up for ourselves with gentleness in those tender places. And it can also be an easier memories to start feeling some compassion for ourselves and just bring that gentleness. And another thing too, sometimes, although not always, but sometimes older memories can be a little easier to work with just because we have some more distance from them. Like it's way easier for me to be gentle with my 10-year-old self than my yesterday self. So there are more things to consider, and I'll be back next time with some thoughts to help us keep going deeper into these memories and get even more out of this practice. But if you give it a try, if you want to start working with some memories and just write them out and then try to respond with a more gentle approach, I'd love to know how it goes for you. So I'll be back with more soon. In the meantime, remember, you can trust yourself.